All right, guys, welcome back. Today we got another ad hacking series where I found something that you don't see very often anymore, but you guys are gonna love this. If you're a local advertiser, you do print, you got a local business, this video is for you and the next three, because we're gonna pull some stuff together here off of this. So let's take a look and unpack it right after this. Okay guys, welcome back. So you don't see a lot of this anymore, but I was so thrilled when I found these ads. So today we're going to unpack some local ads that are, I guess you call them display ads, but they're not digital. So stick with me and let's take a look at the first thing. It's going to blow you away because I don't know how many people have seen this. This is something that used to be more common back in the day. This is the table at Pepe's Cafe. I went to eat breakfast and I'd forgotten that these were there. This is like the coolest thing ever for advertising. I mean, this again just tells you advertising can be anywhere it wants to be. And this is laid into the table. These are not stickers. They're like printed into the laminate tabletop. The whole restaurant, every table has this print on it. And I'll let you know, this restaurant is packed all the time. Pepe's Cafe is slammed, and it's one of the best places around for locals to go eat. So all of these ads are really focused on local service companies. So we can see some stuff here, like a framing company. We're going to pull some of the stuff apart. There's all these different ones here. Like, you're going to see like the car wash, construction, HVAC, air conditioning guys, electricians, yard guys. There's like ads everywhere. So you just sit there waiting for your food and you're just captive audience, right? So any place we can find ads where we can get a captive audience, then we could do a little bit more with the ad, right? Because we got more time. We can get some pretty good impressions. And honestly, I would be willing to wager that thousands of people see these ads every week at Pepe's Cafe, based on the traffic that I know that goes to this cafe. It's just a little regular diner, but local diner packed with people that own homes and need things. And so here they are. So Pepe got creative, or somebody approached him. I'm not really sure what the origins of all this is, but the ads are there and they've been there for years. I completely forgot I walked in there and I was so happy. So I held my phone up and took a picture. Now let's dive in and pick apart a local ad and see kind of where we're at. So this is on the table, and I haven't really spent too much time on it, but I have some initial thoughts right away. So I always like to kind of just Verde Sol Air Services. So the top right here is, in advertising, sometimes we call these mental envelopes, right? So we call our call outs: heating and air conditioning, plumbing, solar, hot water, and geothermal, right? So these are like their core services, and that might be the other way to think about it. But when we call out our core services, the other way to express that is those are the four fundamental problems that they solve, or the four fundamental things that they can do to enhance your home ownership experience, if you will, or to be more efficient or to save money or something like that, right? So they work in these four areas primarily, or at least that's what they're putting themselves out for right now. And then they got some other stuff going on over here. They've got the third sort of party, a little bit of dealer strength there, factory authorized dealer from Carrier. Carrier is obviously a big air conditioning manufacturer, heat pumps and things like that. So they kind of got that on there. It gives them a little bit of co-branding strength, or the national brand, which is great. And then they got this little blurb in the middle. And this is relevant for where this ad is. Family owned and operated, providing home comfort, utility savings since 1983. So I like that. I mean, it kind of places them, in alignment with the local scene, and I think that's okay. And again, you can have a whole long line of stuff there in this situation because it's not a digital ad. The print situation in this case is captive audience, so you got some time to work on people and do a little bit more with text. I wouldn't recommend all that in a lot of other formats, but in this case, you can get away with it. And then they got their call to action on the bottom. And honestly, this is all done pretty well, right? So call us for all your service needs. These types of things up here, right? Because we're kind of coming down the bottom. They got big phone number, got the website, and they got the QR code, which I think is really important in this type of situation. I mean, people just sitting there with their phones, staring at these ads. So you got to have the QR code, right? So let's go to some other things here. Like, I think in general, not bad. You know, they got the call outs, the core services, a little bit of like localization messaging here, kind of appealing to the local thing, some third-party brand strength stuff right there, and then this whole bottom call to action. So the core ingredients are there. Here's where I think, you know, and we're here to like look, learn, and, you know, and see if we can do better. I think they did, you know, I get the sun thing and like the logos behind the sun, and there's this whole thing. Where I think they could have done better with the imagery, because really it's just a background for all this ad stuff, right? And maybe that's okay in this circumstances, but so long as it's deliberate, that's fine. The other thing that, you know, we like to see is that the image somehow shows a positive outcome, which this one does not. Right? This image here is really just a background vibing with the logo being the sun and this like sort of green field. So maybe there's a little message of like prosperity and grass is greener. And, you know, it's definitely a positive image. So that's good. But it doesn't show like the happy homeowner who has, you know, got all this stuff working. He's got solar. She is enjoying, you know, the fact that there's no worry about any of all this stuff. Like, so there's a little bit of imagery that could have been better here, in my opinion. Like the outcome, the stress-free, happy homeowner that has these people helping them with their house. So that's my only criticism for it. Otherwise, it's got the 4 core areas, you know, that I think would need to be needed here. I think the logo is a little large, but in this case, fine, because it's trying to get some local brand impressions on that logo. I'm sure they got vans and trucks and business cards and all these other things that are carrying that brand mark. So there's no reason not to strengthen that within the market a little bit. I think the call to action too, like now looking at the call to action, calls for your service needs. What would have been stronger than that? Yeah, I got some ideas. How about call us and start saving today, right? Again, remember, like people will do things to avoid a negative outcome, right? Don't wait for your system to break down. Call today. Or start saving money today with Verde Sol Air, right? Or don't, or free cost comparison, right? So if somebody's in the process of getting bids on work like this, you know, you might want to try to get in front of the deal. So I think the call to action could be stronger here. It's a little like mealy mouth, you know, calls for all your service needs. Like, oh, okay, so what? But the call to action could hit harder and be about saving money, about avoiding negative outcomes, about being competitive and that we're the better deal in town, you know, something along those lines. I think would have been stronger on this CTA right here. And then the family owned and operated stuff. I mean, maybe show a picture of the family. If it's a local ad, like show us the kids, the baby, the dog, and that you guys are comfortable in your home, right? So we could have done this family owned, local, and done the picture and probably solved 2 things with 1 stone, and it would have been kind of like a better outcome for the entire ad. I think you could have had a picture that said this, you know, with the background that's locally relevant, right? Like a noticeable landmark. I don't know, the courthouse, a town square, the big mountain that everybody knows, something like that, right? And the family and the kids and the grandkids and 3 generations or whatever, and that they're helping our families, helping your family, that kind of thing. So they kind of missed that one too. So there's, again, always room for improvement, but definitely got all the elements there that we want to see on something like this. And, you know, not bad, not horrible, could be better. Hopefully you guys learned something by looking at this. I'm going to do a couple more off that table, so subscribe. If you pull a little bit out of today's video, smash that like button for me, and we will see you on the next one.